Okay, today we are playing a game on Junkertown. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing Sombra the entire way through. We are also on the console today, so consider yourself forewarned. Current team composition is Orisa, Roadhog, Sombra, Widowmaker, Moira, and Bridget. So I don't have a lot to say about it, but what I will say is that our two DPS, our team comp is fairly low on the DPS side because of our two DPS, because we've got a sniper and a flanker. So if Widow and us aren't doing our jobs and actually, getting picks and, threatening to kill people a lot, pretty much, then the enemy team won't have that much trouble advancing on us, because we've got the staticky tank combo of Orisa, Roadhog, and if they don't have DPS backing them up, it's really easy to just walk into them. Though they do have Bridget to help as well. So there is that. But that's about all I got to say to it. And not to, I don't want to come at you right out of the gate, but I'm already not super happy with what we're doing before we started the game. Because what we're doing right now is fairly unnecessary. Because we're waiting to hack this large health kit that we've got the translocator under. The thing is that we could just have this translocator here. And then we could go off and start pressuring them as soon as they come out of the gate, right? We can wait for them to come out. And then as soon as we see the supports in the back line come out, we can start pressuring them. And then, probably just translocate away. Probably don't get a kill, but we do get some ult charge off of it. And, got a translocator, so it's really easy to get away as Sombra. Instead, we're waiting here to hack this, so we're gaining no ult charge. And we could just go to the pressure, translocate back, and then hack this when we get back here, right? Because what does having this large health kit hacked right now actually provide us? I guess if they've got a flanker and they get back here, they won't be able to use it, but we would translocate back here before they did if we went off to do that anyway, so... Because we translocate back here, this large health kit's going to be here. It's very unlikely this is going to have been taken, so us just waiting to do this is just not as productive as if we were off waiting to get somebody right as they come out, pretty much. So we do that, and now we're waiting to get over here. Widow's just managed to kill herself after getting a pick on Batista, so that's nice. So we see that they've got a Widowmaker as well, because Widow's up there on the high ground. So that's important to know. And then we just immediately go in on the Sombra. But, we didn't check what the rest of their team was, so we didn't know they had a McCree to the side of us, and he got the kill on us. So we gotta kind of assess the situation a little bit more thoroughly, because we knew what half their team was, basically. We gotta figure out, whenever we're playing a flanker, really, we gotta figure out, well, what's the enemy team? What do I have to play around? And if they got a McCree, the answer is probably that McCree. So this is a kind of risky spot to put the translocator, because as they're pushing over this way, as they're pushing past the door over there and start pushing up this way, it's really easy to see that translocator through either of the doors, and then they know where you're going to go. Or they can just break the translocator as well, which, depending on the situation you're in, might be really unfortunate. So we hacked Batista there. I think we tried to hack Reinhardt, and we just got Batista by accident. Look at that mad lock-on. God damn. Looking right at Reinhardt. He's all the way over there. Look at the angle that the lines had to go through to actually get Batista. So hacking Batista is not as exciting as hacking Reinhardt would be, but it looked like we were trying to hack Reinhardt and got Batista instead. So we've hacked Batista again, which is still not as exciting as hacking Reinhardt would be, but we are at least making it difficult for Batista to do shit. Anna's after us right now. We did just hack her right here. There's actually not much point to do this right now, because we've just seen she's used both her cooldowns. She's already used her grenade, and she just used her sleep dart. So all that this is going to do is stop her using her ultimate, which you might decide is important enough reason to hack the Anna, but she's already used her 2 cooldowns, so I don't really want to hack the Anna anymore. I'd rather hack the Reinhardt still. So we translocate back, and here's the scary thing about this translocator. Someone knew. D.Va was in here, waiting for us to come back to this translocator. So that's the scary thing about that translocator. It is very easy to see it in that room, because you just go past one of the doors and you see it. So we run up, we emp their team. We don't have a translocator anywhere, so we almost died. It was scary, but we didn't die. If we are gonna play around this translocator, try to avoid putting it just right on top of the health kit, because that's where it's so easy to see it. Just peep in. Oh, fuck, it's right there. No big deal. I'll get him. So instead we could chuck it here. like, back here, you know, back there. Just somewhere a little bit less obvious than right on the health kit. If the enemy team, like, are not in danger of getting this far, like, it's fairly common to be holding people on this checkpoint, like, over here, right? In which case, no big deal. They aren't going to go past the door to see it, in which case it doesn't matter. But if the enemy team are pushing up this way, it's really easy to see the translocator right there. Especially since, you know, they're going to see that the pack is hacked as well. So, fairly likely that's where Sombra put it. So just try and put it like a little bit out of the way. Putting it right on top of the health kit is a big giveaway as to where you are. And Sombra's a hero. Most flankers are this way. All flankers are this way. But Sombra really in particular benefits a lot from keeping the enemy team off kilter and not knowing exactly where you are. So you want to obfuscate your location as much as possible. This is why you also want to switch up which health kit you're using and which one you're playing around. Like, which is what we're doing right now. I don't like that we're using this health kit because it's so far away from the action. So, like, we translocate back over here, it's going to be a while before we get back into the combat again. So rather than doing that, I'd rather just play around one of the other health kits that are out here, rather than the one that's all the way back there. Because we want to have as much uptime as possible, especially as Sombra, we're looking to build ult charge as quickly as we possibly can. So the more time we spend in the recovery period after going out to try and make something happen, the more that's impeding our ability to build up ult charge. So we're after McCree right now. We've hacked McCree, so McCree isn't scary. The hack is getting close to running out right now, and we just decide that we're just going to disengage. Which is fair enough. If he gets the flashbang up, there's a fair chance he kills us, but... So we've spent a long time in the recovery period right here, right? So let's see, we're fighting him right now. So we translocate back at 152. And so let's see how long it takes us to get back again. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's already been 10 seconds. We're getting back to the fight 10 seconds later. That's a long time. That's a respawn timer. So that's a long time to be getting back in the fight. Whereas if we're just playing around one of the other health kits that are out here, then it's faster for us to get back. Because we can just do like the small health kit over in the back. We can do the large health kit near where McCree was a second ago. We don't have to hack those health kits either. Like the health kit over where McCree was that we just translocated away. We can just put our translocator in that room, like out of line of sight of the doorways, and then we translocate over there. That health kit is almost certainly going to be there, so it doesn't need to be hacked. And if it's not hacked, we put the translocator out of the way. They don't know that we're there. And then we can come out and start doing shit faster if we're over at that checkpoint, and then we'll come out behind the enemy team, rather than coming out from behind our team, which is just because, like, any damage takes you out of stealth. If you have to approach them, like, through your front line to get to them, it just makes it a little bit harder to approach, you know? So we're trying to hack Reinhardt right now. It's not tenable. What we've done right now is, like, not a legal maneuver, which is in full visibility. The enemy team, like, there's even, like, the amplification matrix is looking right at us right now, so we might get shot and killed, right? But we're just in full view of the enemy team, trying to walk through Reinhardt's shield and hack him. That's not allowed, and now we keep trying to hack him. There's no way it ever works. There's no way this ever works. And I think, yeah, we broke our translocator by accident, which is, was pointed out to me as, like, something that happened a few times in the email, so the person had to rebind their keys, which is, well, buttons, I should say. So, you know, that's sad, but we aren't allowed to do that. We can't just, like, in full view try and walk through them to hack somebody, and then, like, while Ryan's swinging at us, we're like, maybe I'll get the hack off. No, he's gonna hit us and just interact instead. So, off we go again. Health kit's fine to play around. We can get back, because they're pushing through here, we'll get back to the fight fairly quickly from that one, because it's just up the staircase and around. So we see they have a Widow. We do want to try and kill the Widow. Hopefully we go for the Widow right now. That looks like what we're going to do. Because she's probably up here all by her lonesome. Indeed she is. And we decide to try and hack her. Oh, McCree's up here. The problem with trying to hack her is that she's looking right at us right now. So if we want to hack her before we do this, we gotta, like, she's turning around. We can see she's turning around. we gotta wait until she's not looking at us anymore, because you got a machine gun, it's gonna be super easy for her to interrupt us. Or if we don't want to wait for that, then we can just start shooting at her as soon as we come out of stealth instead, and just say, hey, maybe she won't get away with the grapple. Also, we knew they had a McCree, so we have to try and determine where McCree is before we do stuff, because if we don't determine where McCree is before we start doing stuff, this kind of thing happens, where we back up into McCree, get flashbanged and killed. So we gotta be aware of where and what McCree is doing, because otherwise shit like that happens. And that's true of like all flankers. You've got to be aware of what your counters are doing, and McCree counters every flanker, right? So you've got to be aware of what he's doing. So I don't like this health kit because it's really far away from the action again. You know, that health kit over there is risky to play around at this point, but there's like the small health kit right behind where the point is right now in the room to the left, and we could be using that health kit instead, and then that's way closer, still out of the way. And then we can get back in the fight way sooner than we would from that one all the way over there, which is going to be, again, a multiple second ordeal to get back here. So, you know, Sombra's #1 priority in life is farm ult charge so that we can use Emp. And the longer you spend recovering between each flanking attempt, the longer it's going to take you to build up Emp, which is not what we want as Sombra. So here we've come out of stealth right in like full view of a bunch of people right next to Reinhardt. Again, just not really allowed. We've got to try and be a little bit more fancy than this, because like Reinhardt can just turn around and hit us, but they can see us as well. We can't do that. We've got to try and be out of like a bunch, like we can't just come out of stealth in a bunch of people's line of sight and start trying to hack someone, because they won't let us do that. We've got to be a little bit more fancy and try to get behind them. So I've come back here to see how long it takes us to recover again. So it was 46. Alright, we're getting back there. We could even use this health kit, and this health kit is closer, and still good. So it is, again, we're getting back right at 46. So this is, again, a 10-second recovery period we've taken right here. And if we're just getting from like the large health kit we just ran past, we'd get here like in half the time. So that's an improvement already. So we're trying to kill the Widow. We got the Widow. Ryan's really low, so we managed to finish him off as well. Anna's like dead as fuck. Bridget just decided to waste her ultimate, which is her prerogative. She's allowed to do what she wants. She's a strong, independent woman, but I wouldn't have used my ultimate like that if I was Bridget. Because, you know, I don't think I need Rally to kill the Anna. Just a hunch I've got. So we do have this 100 extra armor now, which is nice. It gives us a little bit of an extra buffer for when we just start trying to fuck with people. So they just lost their Anna immediately. Did McCree use flashbang? No, there's no way. That's Batista's grenades. So, there's a lot of people right there. Oh, McCree just died. McCree died, no fear anymore. We could just start fucking with people. Don't need to use the Emp right now. This fight's pretty much already done. They lost Anna, they lost Genji. So I'm already like, they're down 2 people. They've lost the fight. But then they lose McCree as well. So that's half their team gone. They've lost this fight. We should just immediately hack D.Va, and then D.Va's dead 100% pretty much. Not 100%, but extremely close to 100% D.Va's dead. And that would be fine enough, but we decide to Emp Batista and D.Va. If we just hacked D.Va, this exact same thing happens. We did end up getting the Reinhardt as well, but they lost that fight. They lost half their team immediately. Don't need to use the Emp at that point. You don't want to commit an ultimate to a team fight that you've already won, or that you've already lost. It's better to use it on a team fight that could still go either way. So they're deciding to switch up which way they're going. I think they still have the Widow. Do they still have the Widow? Ooh, nope. Here comes, oh no, wait, they had, did Widow change to Genji? Widow changed to Genji, I guess, didn't he? Yeah. Or did they have 3 DPS? Well, I just saw Widow spray on the wall, actually, so they must have had 3 DPS. Yeah, there goes Widow, I think. What a professional operation we run around here. Do they have this? I don't know. So we come up behind the McCree, hack McCree. McCree is now no threat to us. We managed to kill him immediately. McCree, super easy to kill as Sombra once the flashbang's gone. So who is back here? Oh, it's Genji. Genji's just staggered himself a lot, so that was very nice of him. Nice little help he's given us. So we leave the health kit back here. Or, we're gonna leave our translocator back here? No? We're not gonna put our translocator back here? Where is our translocator right now? We didn't am I crazy? Did we throw it there? We didn't, right? It's further back? Yeah, it's further back. We could put it right here. We could use this health kit. And then again, we would be, it would be a shorter recovery period for us to get back out here doing stuff. So here comes the enemy team. They're starting to come this way. Oh no, they're starting to splinter and go off in a bunch of different directions. So we could go for Anna right now because Anna is right under us. McCree is sort of with her, but they're pretty split up. So we could just wait for McCree to go off. Oh, yep, Anna's getting left behind right now. So here we come for her. Hack Anna. Oh, Roadhog's here as well. I would have been very upset if I was Anna. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here? So she's probably pretty mad. So they're about to run out of time. They've got a Winston. Winston's fucking dead. I was wondering where McCree was. See, we shouldn't be worrying about, like, doing all this right now. We just want to get, like, back out here to try and finish off these people as fast as possible. Rather than spending time, like, setting up the optimal return again. So we decide to use the Emp right here. I would rather save the Emp still, just because it's not super exciting to get these people with it, because we know the enemy team are going to get back soon, right? Diva already lost mech, so we essentially only Emp Batista, which is not particularly exciting to Emp one person when I know the enemy team are about to regroup. We could just hack Batista and accomplish the same thing. And then, now the enemy team is regrouping. Now I could Emp, and I could get Baby Diva, I could get Winston, I could get Anna, and I could maybe even wait and just try and get more people when they come in. I could use it now and break his bubble and hack all these people. That's more exciting than just Emping the Batista. So right now, I would actually rather hack Baby Diva than anybody else, because Baby Diva, she's been alive a while, and she's been nano boosted, extremely scary. Terrifying. Her final form has truly been reached, but she must be getting close to having call mech. And Anna, she's already used nano boost, she's used her cooldowns. I'd rather hack Diva so she can't get another mech back, because that's more scary to me than the Anna that's used her cooldowns. Or the Winston. Either way, Anna, I'm not particularly excited to hack. Because she's already used her shit by that point. And Baby Diva getting back in mech would be very, very inconvenient. But we win the fight regardless. You know, they weren't exactly in a good spot, so we didn't have to be too optimal right there to win. So now I get to attack, which is usually easier to do as Sombra, especially given the enemy team is like the defending team likes to run bunker comps these days, right? So Sombra, Emp, very good for that. So the thing I'm concerned about is, do they have a McCree still? I was going to say, do they have a Hanzo still? Which is, you know, what a mystery. I wonder if they have a Hanzo, right? Hacking Hanzo, I'm not particularly excited to do a lot of the time. A noble endeavor to try and get him, but, you know, sometimes you fight the Hanzo, and he just turns around and gets you in the skull. The reason I'm not excited to hack Hanzo is, like, his cooldowns are not all that exciting to me. Like, the biggest thing is you can hack so he can't lunge away from you, I guess, but, I'm still not usually very excited to do it, because if Hanzo, it's like you gotta kill him so fast anyway, and it's just the risk of, like, fighting Treelog Man. I don't like doing it. I'd rather go and find somebody else to try and harass instead. You know, sometimes you gotta try and kill the Hanzo. Such is life, but yeah. So we've left our translocator all the way back in the enemy spawn. Or the enemy spawn? Tells you what I think about my teammates, doesn't it? But again, it's a really long recovery period that we're putting on our translocator. Right now, we could put it with any of the health kits that are behind them. And that's fine. We could put it in either of the little shacks behind them right now. And then that's fine. We can go to these places. And, you know, we can't use those spots for too long. But we get back into the action more quickly if we use those ones back there. Because now, again, we've got to spend all this time getting back up here again. And we could just be getting back there faster if we use one of the health kits closer to the fight. You know, You don't want to use the health kit that's too close to the fight, or if you're going to use it, you don't want to use it more than once, maybe twice, because the enemy team, if they key in to where you're playing around, right, then they can just see you translocate back and go, oh, well, I know where she went. Which they won't do the first time, but afterwards becomes scarier. So, you know, there's that fear, but you can be way too conservative at the same time and spend so long getting back in the action that you just really hamper your ability to build ult charge. And that's the whole point of Sombra, really. So I don't want to Emp right now because I'm already looking at this like we're probably going to win this fight because 2 of them are already dead. They've lost both their supports, so that's already kind of a nail in the coffin for them. But I also look at that Orisa and I go, she's dead as fuck, right? She is going to die in the next couple seconds. So that means half their team is going to be dead, both their healers are going to be dead. They pretty much lost the fight. I don't want to use the Emp anymore. I'd rather save it. Especially since we don't need to win many more fights to actually win the game, right? Because it's not unfeasible we just capture this checkpoint without another fight. Or without another real fight anyway. They maybe stall it a little bit, but then we capture it. And then we only need like one good team fight to win after this checkpoint as well. And the Emp is just like real good insurance for that kind of thing, right? So here, we're standing right at the payload, and they're going to come around this corner. They're going to be looking right here. So again, we're going to be trying to hack people in full view of them. There are not exactly many ways the enemy team can be getting back to this point. They can come through this doorway, or they can come out this window. Those are kind of their options for reinforcing, right? So rather than standing here, we can stand back here. And then when somebody comes out the door we want to hack, we can hack them, and they have to spin all the way around to interrupt our hack, which is unlikely to happen on console. Even not on console, to be honest with you, but regardless, it is going to be way easier to get a hack off over there than over here, where they're going to be looking right at us the whole time. So we got to try and be a little bit more clever than that when it comes to hacking people. So we are using this health kit right now, so we get back into this fight immediately. Like, we respawn, or we don't really, we translocate back, and bam, we're just back, we're fighting again. D.Va is a good one to hack before you break her mech, just to try and prevent, like, the self-destruct from happening right there. So, like, even though the D.Va's almost dead, it's usually still worth the hack, just so they can't use Translocator. Or, Translocator? Self-destruct. What the fuck's wrong with me? We chucked our Translocator over there at, like, the exploding mech, which was not exactly optimal placement. And then we didn't have a Translocator to go to, so we get killed by Hanzo. Probably don't need to belabor why chucking the Translocator at the exploding mech is an unfortunate maneuver. Probably don't need to beat that one down. So, D.Va's still over here. She definitely doesn't have self-destruct now, so we don't need to hack her for that one. We didn't have a Translocator down anywhere, so we just kind of chuck it to get away from Mei, but we've chucked it further into the enemy team. Did we accidentally break the Translocator, or did we not put it down anywhere? We haven't put it down anywhere before we go in. So, very scary. Always have a back door, as Sombra would say. And we did not have a back door. We tried to make one on the spot, and it didn't exactly work out too well. Fight's still going well, because Reinhardt did just earth shatter a bunch of people. Batista already used the lamp, so he couldn't use that to keep his teammates alive. So the fight's still going well, even in our absence. And they do have a Widow now, so they got the double sniper comp. This was mad aggressive. Hanzo is, like, fully aware of what's happening right now. He's just saw the Translocator fly past his face. Gotta be real careful with the chuck the Translocator at the person's face play. You gotta be pretty sure, like, you're gonna kill that guy as soon as you arrive, pretty much. So, regardless, we've captured this checkpoint. Whatever. Not exactly like it's a long respawn, right? So, okay. So we're gonna play around this health kit now. This is a good one to hack, because our teammates are likely to be playing around this health kit in the near future. So that's a good one to hack. Generally, it's good to hack the health kits that are close to the team fight, just so your teammates can use them when a fight's breaking out. So, I thought she was, like, stuck in the ground, to be honest with you. Like, she's been earth-shattered. I just thought Mei's, like, upper body was poking into the ground, and that was it. So we could have hacked May right here, but we were stealthing out, so unfortunately, by the time we process what's happening and come out of the stealth, yeah, she's already done it. We do manage to hack her before she uses Blizzard, so that's cool. The Emp I'm not too excited about, just because I'm not expecting many people to be right next to me. Because, again, Diva's lost her mech right now already, so that's already said and done. And the rest of the people are going to be backing up away from our Diva's self-destruct. So their Emp wasn't super likely to hit many people around this corner, because they would be backing up. So I'd rather, like, press up a little bit further with it. And the fight was also already going pretty well. So there's the other case to be made to just wait to use it on the people that are reinforcing here, on the assumption we would win that fight regardless. But we won the game anyway, regardless. Doesn't matter. Don't get punished, you don't have to learn. That's what I always say. Who got play of the game? Probably Reinhardt. No, it was Widow. Very surprising. Alright, show us what you got. Well, did get the 2 supports at least, so that's good. That's pretty good percentage scoped accuracy. That's pretty good. 21 crits. Good job. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Especially for console, right? Hard to aim. So, there you go. That's that video. We got a question in the email over here, so let's come on over. Let's see. Let me get past that part. My main question is Sombra one of those heroes that is very situational? By that I mean, are there certain maps that she is better in than others? Is her usefulness dependent on the type of comp she has to face, or is she a very versatile hero that can be used in can be used in any and all situations? So, I do think that you can play Sombra in pretty much any situation, just because Emp is extraordinarily strong, right? Like, there is no team comp that doesn't, like, get shut down by Emp, basically. So, Emp alone makes Sombra good in, like, basically all situations. There are certain comps that she is better against, like she's going to be very good against goats, she's good against Hammond in general, right? Like dive comps, she's good at shutting them down, she's good at shutting bunker comps down. Bunker comps are a little bit harder just because it's harder to generate ult charge off of those kind of comps, but like, there's no team she can't be played against. But there are some comps she will excel against, like goats, or any kind of like Hammond comp, pretty much. Like, Hammond gets shit on, Doomfist gets just completely annihilated. Like, some comp she's really good against, but I don't think there's any comp she's bad against, really. There are some that are kinda unfortunate, because there aren't, like, a lot of people that are good to hack on the enemy team. Like, if the enemy team is, like the off-tank Zarya, then, like, Zarya is not usually an incredible hack, because she's got really long cooldown, so if she's already used both her bubbles and you hack her, you haven't really accomplished very much. So, like, you know, you can hack Rav, so that's cool, but, you know, she's not usually great to hack. Playing against somebody like Ashe isn't, like, it's not the end of the world if you get hacked by as Ashe, because you can still right-click, so that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world for, like, Hanzo to get hacked, really. It's not the end of the world for, Well, I'm having so much trouble with this. It's not the end of the world if, like, Widow gets hacked, because she only really has the one cooldown. So there are some comps where, like, there are less great hack targets on it, but I mean, even the people that are, like, not the worst in the world to get hacked on, like, they still don't like it, right? Like, nobody's gonna be happy to get hacked still. So there are some where there are less high-value hack targets, but even those, Sombra is still, like, fine against. The thing is, just Sombra is hard to play, right? Map-wise, you know, there are maps that are better for Sombra, definitely. Usually, it's dependent on, like, the health kits that are on the map, or 2CP maps. Sombra is great on 2CP maps because you need to win way less fights on 2CP maps, right? And Emp, provided used well, is a one fight. So if you're attacking a 2CP map as Sombra, if you get a good Emp, you capture one of the checkpoints, and then that's half the round one right there, right? So Sombra is great on 2CP maps, those also tend to be maps that have got, like, very convenient health kit places for Sombra to use, so those are good. Like, King's Row is a good Sombra map because there's a lot of health kits near the points that you can use. There's lots of places to go out of the way and hide, and, like, you can do some tricky stuff on them. Numbani, a map with a lot of health kits on it in a bunch of different places, so, like, good map for Sombra. Also, lots of places for Sombra to approach from. So, like, it's 2 CP maps and maps that have got, like, really convenient health kits or lots of options for the Sombra, basically. Angles of attack and health kits to play around. Those are the better maps for Sombra, but there's, like... I can't think of a map that Sombra's bad on, really, off the top of my head. You know, like... The map she's good on, she's really fucking good on, like 2 CP maps, so... You know, the rest feel kind of bad in comparison, but, like, there aren't really any bad Sombra maps. So, I do think she is a versatile hero. The problem is just that Sombra's hard to play, and it gets very difficult if the enemy team does a good job of playing around you. Like, if they've got, like, a lot of hard crowd control on their team, they got a McCree and a Bridget walking around the map, and, like, then it starts to get a little bit more difficult for Sombra, but it's still not like the end of the world for you, because as long as you play around those people and, like, you don't expose yourself when McCree is around or when Bridget's around, or you hack them before you make any kind of plays, like, it's fine still. So it's not the end of the world, but it can get restrictive if the enemy team is like McCree, Bridget, and then you've got like Winston is, like, really good at just, like, disrupting you and making it hard for you to hack people, you know. Moira can make it very difficult. So it can get difficult for Sombra, but I don't think there's ever a situation that she's, like, awful in. Like, you can't play her in. There are just situations that are harder for Sombra to operate in, but none that are, like, completely untenable for her. The problem is just that Sombra is really hard to play. Like, she's one of the I think she is the hardest hero in the game to play. By quite a wide margin, actually. So that's the difficult thing more than, like, team comps or maps, is just, like, getting used to playing Sombra. Sometimes the team comp you're with is less ideal for Sombra, because ideally you have something to combo with Emp, like most ultimates kind of combo with Emp, right? Like self-destruct combos with Emp, like Tac Visor combos with Emp, Dragon Blade combos with Emp, all kinds of shit combos with Emp. So ideally you've got an ultimate that combos with Emp, but sometimes you might not really have that, because your team might be like, kind of like it was in this game, like our other DPS is Widowmaker, and then if we've got like Orisa Roadhog as our tanks, then, you know, we don't have a great combo with the Emp, but at the same time, if you Emp well enough during a team fight, you don't strictly need an ultimate to combo with it, because just most of the enemy team being unable to play their heroes for 6 seconds is really fucking strong. Like, extraordinarily, disgustingly strong. So you don't even necessarily need one. So, short answer, no, I don't think she's situational. I think she is versatile and can be slotted into pretty much any situation. It's just some will be more difficult for her, but no, I don't think there are terrible situations for her. There are just less ideal situations for her, pretty much. It's just she's hard to play. And so, there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST. And there's a link to the channel in the description below. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and still enjoyed it somehow, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.